Hello and welcome to another visit to my archive, and this time to 2007. It was a cold, frosty October morning when I'd headed out to Fineshade Wood near Corby to film fallow deer. I'd only just begun filming wildlife. My early attempts had no music and no narration. I just cut them together using the camera sound, and then once I'd got a selection of films, I'd burn them onto a DVD and then distribute them among friends and family, or anyone who was interested. So here's a new edit of the fallow deer of Fineshade Wood for the first time with music and narration. Hope you enjoy it. Fineshade Wood is situated roughly halfway between Corby and Stamford. I'd got there really early, expecting to have the wildlife hide to myself, but to my surprise, the hide was full. Around about 20 people were out on a field trip with a guide. Together, we enjoyed the delightful sight of several does and fawns out on the frost-covered woodland glade. Fineshade is home to 3 species of deer, muntjac and roe, but by far the most numerous are the fallow deer. Fallow deer are not native to the UK. They were first introduced in Roman times, but according to the British Deer Society website, these eventually became extinct and then were reintroduced in the 11th century. Their coloration varies a lot. There's the common variety, which is fawn tan with white spots. There's the menil, which is a paler shade with white spots. The melanistic, which is the very dark coloured variety, almost black to very dark brown. And finally the white, which varies from white to a pale sandy colour. Fallow does give birth to a single fawn in June or July, after a gestation period of 229 days. Eventually the field trip left and I had to hide to myself, and they missed the sight of this fallow buck that wandered out of the wood. I naturally assumed that these were his females, but then suddenly, as though he hears something, he heads off into the wood to be replaced by this handsome, melanistic buck. I could only assume that the first buck had been an intruder and had been driven off. It was the rut, and he'd want to mate with as many females as possible. It looks as though most of the fawns here are melanistic, so could well be his, following the previous year's rut, and the scars of battle can clearly be seen on his neck and shoulder area. He continues to patrol his harem, but then suddenly hears a rival buck somewhere in the wood, and like the previous buck, heads quickly off into the trees, but is soon back with his harem.